Hey guys, just making a quick video about a bit of a hack to use when you're using your electric trolling motor with the battery. So I previously had a trolling motor that drew about 20 amps of current, and I was using it with the battery in the battery box. So the battery, this is a battery box that I bought from 4-wheel drive Supercenter for a reasonably good price. It's a King's battery box. So the problem was that while I was using it with the battery box, is that the way I had done it is I had hooked these two terminals of the battery box to the battery terminals, and that allowed me to have the battery box functioning. I could check the voltage of the battery, and I would just connect the trolling motor to the battery terminals here, so the negative to the black and the positive to the red, and I'll just have it sort of sitting like this. But the problem is that this particular battery box, the wiring is set to a way that it's only covered for drawing up to 30 amperes of current, even though these wires are AWG, so you'd expect them to sort of take over sort of around 50 amperes, especially with this short length. But they just, the manufacturer won't cover it more than 30 amps. And I think they've got inline fuses here that maybe blow if it goes more than 30 amps. So if you're drawing more than 30 amps of current from this battery, you've got to connect your trolling motor directly to the battery. So you can't just connect it to the battery box and expect the current to run through this wiring, and because that will probably blow a fuse somewhere in this battery box, and then it just won't work. So the way I've got it set up now is I've got this wiring connected directly to the battery. It's a 120 amp lithium battery with a circuit breaker. Now one way to do it is just, I still like to close the battery box while I'm on the water, so it's nice and sealed and there's no water ingress. But the way I'll have to work it is I'll have to sort of put the kayak wiring inside it and slide it in, and sort of the trolling motor wiring inside this lid here to just sort of go in and connect to this Anderson plug. So make it a little bit sort of awkward, probably not seal as tight, and maybe put a bit of extra sort of kink on the wiring there. So what I'm looking to do is these Anderson plugs that are already in place with the lid of the battery box that are rated up to 30 amperes. I'm gonna take them out because I've already got holes in there for the wiring. I might have to enlarge the holes a little bit to accommodate this wiring. But the idea is to take out the lugs from these plugs here, and that's not hard to do. You just put a flathead screwdriver, depress the pins there, and just pull them out. So take the plug out and then sort of take these lugs out through here. You might have to enlarge this hole a little bit, just be careful. And then pull these two wires out for this Anderson plug. Put the plug back in and just sort of tuck it around here somewhere so it doesn't come in your way. And then I will use these wires through the enlarged holes, pop them in through the holes that are available now once these wires are out, and replace this 30 amp Anderson plug with this 50 amp rated Anderson plug, and have it sitting outside here. So then I can just connect my trolling motor, which has got the Anderson plug at the other end, and sort of alligator clips directly to here. And then I can just use it with a sort of properly sealed and closed lid of the battery box. So just gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you when it's all done. Okay, so here we go. We're done with the setup now. So what I've essentially done is I've cut off the lugs from these two. These were the two positive and negative wires that were connected to the previous Anderson plug. As you can see, they are a smaller diameter wire, so probably wouldn't have been able to handle that 30 plus amps of current that the trolling motor was going to drive through that Anderson plug. So these are out from the plug. The plug's been put away, and Since I'm not going to use them anymore, instead of putting them back with the plug inside the battery box, it's just going to add up more space here. I just cut them flush, and I just put some electrical tape to insulate them, so this shouldn't be a problem anymore. So up at the top, I've drilled the holes to make them a bit larger, pass the two 8 AWG wires, connect them to this higher amp rated, the 50 amp rated Anderson plug, secure them with the screws like the other one is. So this is nice and secure here. And those two 8 AWG wires, I've just connected them directly to the battery. So they're connected to the Anderson plug on top, and down there they're connected to the positive, and the negative here. So when you connect the trolling motor to that Anderson plug on top, it's going to draw current directly from the battery and bypass the battery box. So you shouldn't have a problem with the higher amp current running through the wiring of the battery box. I've connected the battery box to the battery still, so the positive and negative are connected to the battery. So the battery box can still be used, and I can check the volts directly from the battery box. I can charge it directly from the battery box. So this Anderson plug I haven't touched, because my charger, lithium battery charger, is only a 6 amp charger, so that sort of easily handles the current that goes through the wiring for that Anderson plug into the battery box. So I'm going to use this one to charge. I'm going to use this one to run the motor. Plus I've got the 12-volt socket and the sort of USB sockets at the back to use, that I can use it while I'm running the battery box too. So it's all done. So all you need to do is just sort of push it in, push the lid tightly, secure it with this strap here, and then we're just going to put it in the kayak, connect it to the trolling motor through the Anderson plug at the top, and make sure it's working fine. Okay, so we've got the battery box all set up right now, and back in the kayak with the trolling motor connected to it. So as you can see, it's sort of I've secured it with the strap. I've hooked it to the new Anderson plug with the heavier gauge wiring. The Anderson plug rated at 50 amp, and as you've seen before, the wiring is going straight to the positive and negative terminals of the battery, and they're bypassing the battery box. This is the original Anderson plug that I've kept, and I'll use to charge the battery through the battery box. So everything's inside, the circuit breaker's inside, and nicely sealed away from the elements. And we've got it connected to the trolling motor. We've got it connected to the battery box here as well. So a slight discrepancy. Battery box reading 13.8 volts. It's reading 13.7. So, but yeah, anyway. So we're just going to quickly test it. Just take it all the way to the full speed to see if it is working fine with the maximum ampere draw. So we're going to start at the lowest. Propeller's running. Go up. Full speed now. So right now it's drawing more than 30 amps of current, and no issues at all. The battery box hasn't fused, still working fine, and yeah, it's getting all the current directly from the battery as we planned. So there you go. I'll just move it back. You're not supposed to run it for too long when it's not in water, so I'll just shut it off. So there you go. It's just a quick video. It just shows you how to use your sort of higher amp trolling motors with the battery box sort of still connected to them, but just safely. So you're bypassing the wiring from the flimsy wiring from the battery box and connecting directly to the battery. So it's secured here. The Anderson plug secured with the 2 screws here directly to the battery box, so it's not moving. And yeah, it's connected with the Anderson plug that I've replaced the alligator clips, so it's connected to the motor. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you like the video. Hope it sort of helps some of you out who are going out fishing on their kayaks and little tinnies and tenders with the trolling motors, or their motors connected to the batteries, and they want to keep the battery nice and secure in a battery box. So this is one way to do it. Thanks for watching. If you did like it, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.